Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 405th Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. As most of you know, I put battles on from years ago, and as you can see, this is fought on a custom map. As a lot of you will know, I've put battles on from years ago, months ago, weeks ago, and days ago. Well, this is a unique battle because this battle was fought today, August the 24th, 2019. But it was fought at 2 AM this morning, round about 2 AM this morning, so that's a bit late for me, so I'm feeling a bit tired this morning. But yes, this is a classic battle, fought, as I say, approximately 2 AM this morning, so it's a battle that's actually fought today, which is pretty unique for our battles. Okay, our first teammate is an RTW player who's called himself Death Adder, but we believe that it is Malta. A lot of you will know Malta, and he has bought 12 infantry, 2 archers, and 6 cavalry. Our next teammate is Brotherhood member Mars, who has bought the Macedon faction, and he's actually bought 14 pikes, 3 Cretan archers, and 3 cavalry, including a cavalry general, which is unusual for Macedon. Our third teammate is Brotherhood member Uther, who's bought 12 infantry, a peasant unit, and 6 cavalry, and his cavalry have got 8 upgrades, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack, so he's got some really seriously strong cavalry there. It'll be interesting to see how well he uses them during the course of the battle. And our fourth teammate is myself, Spartan Commander, who's bought his old Greek cities army. Remember, this army is maybe 13 years old. It consists of 14 Spartan units and 5 of the cheap archers. Okay, so it's 5 of the cheap archers and 14 Spartan units. So there's our team there. But just to let you know, this battle's got the potential to be an absolute classic, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, at this stage of the battle, I thought we'd have a look at this old formation of mine. Let's say this army and formation is about 13 years old or so. As you know, the flanks and rear are the vulnerable parts of pike and spear units there. So if you notice, I've got units sloping back there within this formation. It makes it more difficult for enemy to get round the flank to attack me. And also, if enemy comes round the rear, I can turn units there at the rear of my formation to face the threat while keeping a steady front line there against any attack. So this formation is pretty useful for the way that I play. And as I say, it's about 13 years old, and you might have noticed that I've brought it back to the modern day battlefield just to see how well it would do. So it'd be interesting to see. And while we're just looking at formations here, I thought we'd have a look at Uther's formation just to see how he's incorporated that peasant unit in his piler shield unit at the front of his army. And remember, those peasants, as long as they stand their ground, they will soak up pilers as good as any other expensive unit. So that's a nice little unit to put in there amongst his piler shield unit there to soak up enemy pilers. As I say, this is a great battle, and I hope you enjoy it. And here is the other team. We have Brotherhood member Crypto, the host of this battle, and he has bought 12 infantry, 3 archers, and 5 cavalry. And also, as you can see, he's bought the Rome Scipio faction. Okay, their next teammate is Brotherhood member Bark, who's bought the Carthage faction, and he's got 16 sacred spearmen and 4 light cavalry. Most of those sacred spearmen have got 8 upgrades on, so that's 2 experience stripe, gold shield, gold attack. So that's a pretty formidable army there. Their third teammate is Brotherhood member JGP, and he's got 12 infantry, 1 arch, and 6 cavalry. And as you can see, he's bought the Rome SBQR faction there. And their fourth teammate is RTW player Sooty8, and he has bought the Rome SBQR faction, and he has got 14 infantry and 6 cavalry, the bog standard Roman 31k army. So there's the teams there. This could be a classic battle. At this stage of the battle, I'd just like to draw your attention to the enemy cavalry advantage. Okay, the enemy have got 21 cavalry altogether. Okay, so it's 21 cavalry the enemy have got, and we have got 15. Okay, so it's 21 cavalry advantage that they've got to our 15. Now that's a lot of cavalry advantage, and as I say, that may well make the difference towards the end of the battle. And don't forget, because I've bought Greek cities, I've put my team at a cavalry disadvantage straight away. So I'm going to have to try and make up for that by playing those Spartans as good as I can. Should be a great one to watch. Okay, so at this very, very early stage of the battle here, you can see Malta moving his Brutii troops forward there towards the enemy Scipii troops. Malta is quite an attacking player. We've seen him in other battles, very aggressive and, as I say, quite attacking there. As you can see there, he's moving his army forward. At the moment, he's got his couple of archer units there fighting those Scipii archer units, but I think his units are a bit outnumbered there. 3-1 by the looks of it. Sorry, 3-2. And you can see his archer units are being absolutely decimated there by the Scipii archers. But as I say, Malta there moving his troops forward, looking like he wants to be aggressive right from the very, very beginning of the battle. You can see Mars moving his Macedon units over as well. And over here on our left flank, you can see Uther moving over to our left. But also you can see, let's just pause the game for a second here. You can see, can you see 6 SPQR units and 4 Carthage cavalry there? There's 10 enemy cavalry units there looking to move around our flank. Okay, you can see the way they're moving there. They're looking to come around our flank, looking to maybe to smash into the flank of Uther's army. But if you notice, Uther's 6 cavalry, remember with those 8 upgrades there, we'll be watching that enemy cavalry very carefully. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. As you can see, this RTW player Sooty 8 is moving his SPQR army towards Uther's army here. So maybe this is where the battle may well kick off over here on the left flank. Although I can see our Brutiote ally there moving his army forward as well. So maybe the battle may well kick off over on this right flank. But as I say, on both flanks here, it looks like there's potential for the battle to really start. As I say, Crypto there facing Malta's Brutiote army. But over here on the left flank, with those cavalry, those enemy cavalry flanking us there, I'm thinking this is more likely to be where the battle may well, as I say, kick off. There's a bit of pilot exchanging going on here at the between the 2 pilot shield units. My guess is that the peasants have soaked up a lot of enemy pilots there, which is just what Uther wanted there, leaving his urban cohort pilot shield units still intact, pretty well intact there. And as I say, as long as those peasant units hold, because their morale's pretty low, as long as they hold, they can soak up pilots as good as any other expensive unit. So that's a nice use of peasants in a pilot shield unit there. Okay, you might have noticed I've turned my Spartan army now to face the threat of that enemy cavalry. Okay, if they want to charge into the flank of Uther's Julii cavalry, then I'll run my spearmen forward and neutralise that attack. Okay, so you can see that I'm facing that cavalry now with my spearmen. You can see Uther's got his cavalry there. Now, with the upgrades on his cavalry, he may well fancy taking on the enemy cavalry there. And don't forget, he's got backup here by our Macedon allies cavalry as well. So as I say, it could well start here on the left flank with all that enemy cavalry there. Okay, you can see Uther moving his Julii cavalry forward now. Now whether he's going to switch to take on the SPQR cavalry there, he may well do that. It looks like it's going to cavalry battle is going to start here on our left flank. Now it wouldn't surprise me if the SPQR general brought some infantry units over here to support his cavalry. There you go. You can see the enemy general bringing those SPQR units. He's flanking Uther's infantry there, bringing those infantry units over there to maybe help his cavalry if there's a cavalry battle here on the left. Okay, let's just pause the game for a second. So as you can see, that fast moving Carthage cavalry are in behind us here, probably looking to target our archers. But if you notice, our Macedon ally there with his cavalry has spotted that and is looking to neutralise those fast-moving cavalry units here. But as you can see, the enemy SPQR general's brought infantry around here, I think, to support his cavalry when he takes on Uther's cavalry. Okay, so you can see here the battle's going to kick off on the left flank with that Sooty bringing his SPQR units round, as I say, to support his own cavalry against Uther's cavalry there. So we're going to have to move pretty fast here to support Uther's cavalry if he's going to get into a fight. Okay. Bang! As that cavalry smashes into each other there. Remember, Uther's got 8 upgrades on his cavalry, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack, but that SPQR infantry is moving in on his cavalry. Right, can you see I've decided to up spears and I'm running my Greek city units forward here to support Uther's cavalry. Okay, but remember, because I'm a spear faction here, I cannot put my spears down because remember, friendly spears, friendly pikes kill friendly cavalry. Can you see I've got my spears up? So if I run forward to help Uther's cavalry, I'm going to have to keep my spears up and use my weak secondary sword weapon, okay, to support him. But if you notice here, the SPQR infantry is trying to block my advance over to help Uther's infantry, Uther's cavalry there. But you can see more SPQR infantry moving over. You can see enemy Scipii cavalry moving over as well. Okay, and also you can see Mars' Macedon cavalry also coming over to help Uther. See that Scipii cavalry going in and bang! See the Macedon cavalry going in and bang as they smash in there. Okay, this left flank could prove pivotal to the outcome of the battle. Both teams may know that. That's why they're throwing in so many cavalry and infantry there. Right, can you see I've upped spears and I'm running my Greek city units forward. Obviously, like I said, I can't use my spear units with my allies' cavalry involved, because obviously friendly spears kill friendly cavalry, as we've talked about in other battle videos. But I'm going to run forward here now. Right, can you see my allies moving his cavalry out there now, so I could safely put my spears down at this stage of the battle. Okay, can you see I'm putting my spears down now to engage that SBQR infantry, while my allies' cavalry is away from that particular part of the battlefield. Uther's cavalry is doing well to hold there. And as you can see here, as I move all my Greek cities forward, and I can put my spears down safely now, as I said, because my allies' cavalry are out the way. You can see Uther bringing his infantry over as well to support this left flank, and Mars did a good tactical move there with his cavalry, going to come around there and probably smash into the enemy there. Might even target the enemy SBQR general. Okay, so you can see here, as kicked off on the left flank, a lot of the enemy Sooty's SBQR units there are sandwiched there. Can you see my Greek city units? We're going to see Macedon cavalry going in and bang as it charged into the enemy units there. We got a good chance of routing a lot of the enemy infantry and cavalry here on our left flank. Right, let's just pause the game for a second. Okay, so between us, we've managed to rout, I think, most of the enemy SBQR infantry and all of the Scipii cavalry there, with our combined cavalry and infantry hit here on our left flank. Okay, you can see the enemy Carthage Sacred Band moving their army over there to this left flank to support his ally, but we've managed to rout, as I say, most of the units there. Okay, you can see that enemy fast moving cavalry is attacking my cheap archers. Okay, trying to cause as many casualties to my archers as I can. But I've put my archers in alt attack there and are fighting back against those light cavalry. But as I say, you can see Bark bringing his spearmen over. Right, but over on our right flank here, you can see that our teammate Malta here with his Brute army could be a little bit isolated if the enemy SBQR and the enemy Scipio troop decide to hit him. Here, he could be double teamed here over on our right flank. What might be a good move is to move his infantry back out the way of there, but meanwhile over here on our left flank, as you can see, we've done extremely well between us, and we've routed a heck of a lot of enemy units, which is just what we wanted to do at the beginning of the battle. But with all those Sacred Band spearmen coming, remember there's 16 well upgraded Sacred Band spearmen moving across here. If you notice, I'm moving my infantry back to reorganize. Okay, I want to reorganise my infantry there, form up again. If you notice, Uther probably going to pull his infantry back as well. He wants to reorganise his infantry as well, ready to take on the Carthage Sacred Band units there. So we're both pulling back at this stage. But as I say, we've done what we wanted to there. We routed a heck of a lot of the enemy units on that left flank of ours. Okay, let's just pause the game for a second here. So as I say, we're pulling back here to reorganise. If you notice here, Mars here has moved over a little bit more to our left, but our ally here, our Brutio ally here, as I say, you can see he's a bit isolated here, and he could be double teamed. I think his best bet is, if he can now, is to move back as fast as he can, and maybe try a wide movement, a wide tactical movement there to get back over to us. Do you see what I mean? Maybe back there, run back there, get over there, but maybe it's too late. I think the enemy are targeting him here now in a double hit, and I think even if he moves back here, he's going to get hit by enemy cavalry as well as infantry there. As you can see, the enemy SBQR team, they're trying to cut him off. They're trying to cut him off, stopping him from getting across to us there. That's a nice tactical move there by the enemy SBQR general, cutting our Brutio off. And you can see the enemy cavalry going in and bang as that cavalry smashes into our Brutio ally. You can see the enemy Scipii infantry moving in as well. You can see enemy SBQR infantry hitting our ally there as well. So our ally here now is being double teamed by you can see the enemy there really pouring in on him, and I can see his units starting to rout. As I say, it was a nice tactical move there to cut him off from us, so we can't get to him and he can't get to us. So it was a very nice tactical move there by the enemy on this flank. Let's just pause the game for a second. So as you can see here, our Brutio ally is tying up two of their armies. Okay, Alright, so he's actually, okay, he's been isolated there, but they're both attacking him, so he's tying up most of the enemy units on that right flank. Now, this may well give us time over here with our 3 armies to take out the Carthage. Okay, so he's, as I say, he's holding up the 2 armies there, but we've got 3 armies here, my Greek cities, Macedon and Julii. If we could take out this Carthage Sacred Band army before they could get across, then that would then make it a 3v2. So that's what I think we're going to do here. We're going to attack Carthage as fast as we can and try and take Carthage out. But of course, as you know, Carthage Sacred Band, elite spearmen, and with the upgrades that Bark's got on them, they're going to hold for ages. So I don't think possibly our thoughts here could bear any fruit against such units before the enemy reinforcements come over from that right flank. But as you can see here, I'm moving my Greek cities army forward. I'm going to try and engage those Carthage Sacred Band head on and hold them, pin them if I can, allowing Uther maybe to get round the flank of getting behind them there. You can see a lot of enemy units there still out on the battlefield, still waiting to be put into action. But unfortunately, our Brutio ally has now been taken out. Okay, so all our Brutio ally on the right flank has now been taken out, and our right flank has now been broken. Okay, our right flank has been broken, and the victorious enemy troops, make no mistake, will be running over to that left flank as soon as they can to try and smash into the rear of our engaged troops with their cavalry advantage and their infantry. My guess is, though, that Mars will try and send some of his spearmen over to try and neutralise and block the enemy advance from that right flank, allowing Uther and myself maybe to try and take out as many of these Carthage Sacred Band units as we can. As I say, can you see with my Greek cities here, I'm advancing straight head on into those Sacred Band units there. Okay, now I'm being really aggressive with my units there. I'm tapping on them, each one of them, and moving forward to attack each one. I'm doing that too, so that we're getting the full charge bonus, the full attacking bonus there from those Greek city units of mine, because speed is the essence here. We need to take out as many of those Carthage Sacred Band units as we can before the enemy gets over. Let's just pause again for a second. So as he said here, you can see Mars is moving most of his spearmen over here to try and block and neutralise the enemy coming over, the victorious enemy units coming over from our right flank. Okay, so that's a good blocking move by Mars. If he can hold them up as long as he can, allowing us to maybe take out the Carthage, as I say, Sacred Band units there. That's a nice tactical move there by Mars. So as you can see, both Uther and myself here are trying to take out these Sacred Band here. Can you see my Greek city units pushing in on these Sacred Band units there, and Uther pushing in with his Julio units? We've got something like a Carth sandwich going on here, like a hammer and anvil attack. I'm really pushing forward attacking, and Uther's like kind of holding his ground there. So that's like a hammer and anvil attack there, a Carth sandwich if you like. And if you notice, I'm sending my other Greek city units over here to target those Macedon units there, maybe looking to take out that Carthage general if we can. Okay, so Uther and me are trying to be as fast as we can here, but poor old Mars here has got to try and hold 2 armies with Macedon. Now we know Macedon morale's not very good, and of course he's got a cavalry general, so he hasn't got the general in with his Macedon units giving them morale bonus. So if 1 or 2 of his units start routing, then that Macedon army could rout en masse. Okay, meanwhile here you can see my Greek city units. As I say, I'm being really aggressive with them, really pushing in on those Carthage Sacred Band, and as you can see, Uther holding there as well. So we've got, as I say, like a slow moving hammer and anvil attack here. My Spartans being the hammer and Uther being the anvil there. As you can see here, I've sent the other half of my army over there to help Mars. There we're taking out some Carthage units there as well. So between us, we're not doing too bad at trying to neutralise and taking out those Carthage Sacred Band units there. As I say, you can see my Spartans really moving forward into those Carthage Sacred Band units there. I'm really being aggressive with them there, and as you can see, Uther's attacking Carthage as well, so we're doing quite good at taking out some of those Carthage Sacred Band. But our Macedon ally, as we thought, has now been mass routed. Okay, remember we said Macedon morale's not very good, and without the general there, with the casualties there suffered, plus they were surrounded as well, the Macedon morale has broken there, and our Macedon allies, most of our Macedon allies have now been, units have been routed. Okay, so those victorious enemy armies coming over from our right flank has taken out our right flank, has taken out now our right centre. We've got a couple of Macedon units left, but not many. So now we're going to face that those 2 victorious armies coming over from the right flank here, as well as just trying to take out these tough Sacred Band units as well. Okay, And don't forget, you've got Crypto and JGP, two very experienced RTW players moving across with their victorious armies here. Okay, now we've managed to take out a big group of Carthage Sacred Band units here. And if you notice, I've upped spears and ran over to the other units I had on the other part of the battlefield there to support them. But as I say, you can see the victorious enemy troops there moving over from our right flank here, looking to get in behind us, looking to hit our flanks. As I say, JGP Crypto, extremely experienced players here, and that's what they'll be looking to do with their victorious troops. Plus, don't forget, they got that cavalry advantage as well. If you notice here, Uther's holding some units back there in reserve, ready to move in when he's ready, as well as committing units to fight in those those Carthage Sacred Band units there. But you can see the numbers coming over from that right flank. Remember, all those troops there, victorious troops, their morale's going to be good as well, moving over from that right flank there. As I say, they'll be looking to get behind us, they'll be looking to hit us in the flanks. As I say, JGP Crypto, very experienced players, and they'll be looking to use that experience in taking us out. They're probably looking to target my Greek cities general as well, but you can see the numbers coming over there now. Okay, as I say, Uther's keeping a couple of units, got 3 units he's keeping there, maybe in reserve. We're trying to take out that Carthage general at the moment. You can see some of Mars's units have rallied. That's good for us, so he'll be able to bring them into the fray when he's ready to do that. But as I say, you can see the vast numbers of enemy troops coming over there, the victorious troops from our right flank. As I say, JGP and Crypto there will be looking to hit us from every angle they can, especially from the rear and the flanks there. But Uther and myself, if I say so myself, have done well against the Carthage Sacred Band. We've routed most of the Sacred Band units there. So this little clump of my Spartan units here now, which was attacking the Greek cities unit, as you can see, they're in danger of being engulfed by enemy troops. So I'm going to have to put them in defensive mode there. As I say, Mars has still got those pike units there, those rallied pike units. And don't forget, Uther's moving his army around very tactically. Notice he's not going to take on the big numbers. He's probably going to move his Julite army in behind my spears, being able to support my my Spartans there as he can see fit to do so there. Don't forget, Uther, very experienced player, been playing RTW since the first day it came out, same as myself. So he'll be using his years of experience there as well. But as you can see, okay, we've just taken out the Carthage Sacred Band general there, so which we're very pleased about. But as you can see, the numbers, the enemy numbers here are in danger of engulfing our troops. Just look at those victorious troops there. Their morale will be high after seeing so many of our units routed. So you could just see the enemy units there. Like I say, our units are in danger of being engulfed by sheer numbers there. But nice move here by Uther. Notice he's not taking the enemy on head on. He's moving his units round behind my spearmen there, ready to support them as he can, as I say, he can see fit to do so as he moves his unit round there, trying to protect the rear of my engaged troops. Let's just pause the game for a second here. So as I said, you can see this little clump of Spartans here. I'm moving my general unit over there to try and put a unit there to support the flank of that little clump of my Spartans there. But as you can see, they're in danger of being engulfed. I'm bringing my other units over across as well. But we've got enemy SBQR troops that are ready to attack the flank or even get in behind us there. As I say, Uther's tactically moving his troops around, but you can see just by looking at the numbers of enemy troops here. And don't forget, as I say, their morale will be high in seeing so many of our units routed, okay? So that can make a big difference. Plus, they got that cavalry advantage that we talked about earlier. I think the Macedon general has just been taken out. Okay, so that's bad news for us. And over here you can see Uther's throwing the last of his cavalry into a cavalry battle there with the enemy SBQR troops there. He's moving some infantry over as well to help his cavalry. You can just look at Uther's units there. Can you see how battle damaged they are? But you can see my units here. As I say, my Spartans are in danger of being engulfed and completely surrounded there. So things, I think, looking good for the enemy team, maybe not so good for us. Let's pause again for a second to take stock. Right, see the enemy SBQR infantry there. He'll be looking to move around the rear and attack the rear and flank of my engaged Spartans. But hopefully Uther, even with battle damaged units, so you can see how battle damaged they are, may try and neutralise that SBQR attack. Don't forget, we got Scipiite infantry there looking to move in as well. We'll be looking to hit our flank and rear. So as I say here, you can see we are in danger of being surrounded here. My Spartans are in danger of being surrounded. I've put them into defensive mode at this moment now. I'm not attacking now. I'm just going to go into defense mode there, trying to hold. against the enemy numbers there. But as I say, you can see Uther using his Red Julia army very tactically there. He's going to watch my rear and flank, stopping that SBQR army from coming round there. That's what I think he's going to do there. I think my general there, as I say, I had to put him there to try and help with the defensive formation, but it wouldn't surprise me if my general was going to be targeted by the enemy troops. As I say here, you can see, as we said there, it's a Carthage unit there attacking the rear of my Spartans. But as you can see, Uther has moved his units around there to protect the rear. See that nice cavalry hit there by Uther, and bang, as it smashes in, routing 3 Scipio units there. Nice hit there by battle damaged cavalry. Uther, nice. That was a nice hit there by Uther there, smashing to the rear of those units. As I say, as you can see, routed 3 of them. So that was a nice hit there by Uther. Even with battle damaged cavalry, he could do that much damage. But if you look here, you can see the numbers game here is starting to tell. Uther, as I say, he's got Julii infantry there, but they are all very battle damaged, and you can see the enemy numbers here, as I say, could tell towards the end of the battle. But you can see the damage that even battle damaged cavalry can do on tired attacking troops there. That was a nice hit there by Uther. Right, can you see that SBQR infantry starting to move in behind my Spartans there? Right, okay, bad news for us. I've just lost my general. Okay, so the Spartan Greek city general has just been taken out, so we've lost the morale from the general there. Now you can see the enemy really closing in. They know they've just killed my general, so they're going to start putting pressure on my infantry. Let's just pause the game for a second. Straight away, can you see my Spartan units are starting to rout here? Okay, make no mistake here, they know they've killed my general. No morale bonus for my troops, so they're going to really press in now. My troops have been fighting for a long time now, and as you can see, they're pretty well surrounded by enemy troops. Uther's still got his Julio units there, very tactically, strategically using them. He's not wasting them there. I think he's just going to use them where needed, just to support my spearmen. But as I say there, you can see a lot of my Spartan units starting to rout. I think that's the Scipio general just been taken out. Right, you can see here a lot of pressure. I can see, as I say, several of my Spartan units starting to rout. Look at the pressure. Can you see that to enemy SBQR cavalry charging? Probably targeting those Mastodon units. See that cavalry hit, and bang! It smashes into the flank, trying to rout those Mastodon units there. Can you see the pressure that's been put on my Spartans there? Can you see how they're trying to really push in? As I say, the enemy know they've killed my general there, and they know that if they can cause a lot of casualties to my Spartans, they could start a mass rout. Okay, but Uther here is moving his infantry. As I say, he's been moving his infantry around the battlefield very tactically all through the battle. Okay, so I think that's the last of our Macedon ally has just been taken out. And as you can see here, don't forget Uther's a red Julii here, and he's supporting my Spartans. And my Spartans, as I say, are in danger of looking like they're going to be engulfed by enemy numbers there at any time. Okay, and don't forget my Spartans have been fighting for a long time, and as I say, I can't overemphasize losing my general, how that's going to lower the morale of my troops. So they say, and if you see a couple of my Spartan units start to rout, that could start a mass rout here, okay? You can see Uther's still using his battle damaged cavalry around the battlefield very tactically, routing another Scipio unit there. Nice little move by him there. Let's say I've got my Spartans in defense mode at the moment. I'm not attempting to attack. As you saw earlier, I was attacking, but I'm now in defense mode. Right, see that SBQR cavalry going in, and bang, it charges it into Uther's Julio units. He could rout. That cavalry unit could rout, maybe a couple there. Our allies, Brutii cavalry just charged into the rear of some enemy troops. Let's pause the game for a second. Right, can you see my Spartan units are starting to rout now? And that's a sign that my arm is starting to crack, I think, under the pressure. And it wouldn't surprise me if it could start a chain rout and my Spartans could lose there. And I think if my units start routing, I think that will lower the morale of Uther's unit there, and we could well lose the battle here, I think. Yes, I can't emphasize how well Uther's been using his infantry and supporting my spears. As I say, my spear's been taking the brunt of the attack there, but Uther's been tactically and skillfully moving his units around, supporting where they were needed. Right, see that battle damage SBQR cavalry charging in? They're going to hit Uther's unit in the flank, and bang, as it charges in there. That could rout, that could well rout that Julio unit there. Yeah, you can see another one of Julia, my allies' Julia units are gone there. Okay, so let's just pause the game for a second. Okay, so there's 2 units of Uthers have gone now, and you can see that my Spartan thin line and my Spartan's just holding a second here, but I'm expecting them to go to start mass routing soon here with the pressure of the enemy on us. Okay, luckily Uther's still got his general alive, so hopefully he's quite close to my Spartans, so we could be giving them a bit of morale bonus there. But you can see Crypto keeping his general out of the fray, but still giving his allies morale bonus there from that general unit. So they're saying my Spartan's still managing to hold there, but for how long now, I don't know. They've been under pressure for so long. Another one of Uther's units just been routed there.
The enemy army is in flight. Pursue them. Drive them from.
Right, can you see I've moved 2 Greek city units into attack now? Did you notice that I've taken them out of defense mode and I'm moving them into attack? Okay, but you've got enemy cavalry out here that I'm thinking they're going to look to smash into the rear. Maybe if my general unit there smash into the rear there with that cavalry, start a chain route. As I say, if some of my units start routing, then that will cause a chain route there. Okay. But if you notice here, I've moved one of my units back into defense now. As I say, Uther's been doing a superb job with his infantry, moving around the battlefield very tactically. Really good supporting general there. If you move, I said to him, move your general inside my formation there, so he could give my units morale bonus there. But I think he wants to attack. Right, can you see that SBQR Testudo general unit there moving into my spearman? Can you see he's trying to force his way through my spear unit there with that Testudo unit? Okay, but his Testudo unit is very weakened anyway, so he hasn't got a full unit to push through there, and I'm going to turn my Spartans on that unit now. Okay, can you see I've turned defense into attack with some of my units? Okay, my Greek city general unit, where I lost my general anyway, that unit has now been routed. And you can see here now that the enemy they've still got enemy cavalry out there still pushing in on us now. Luckily, as I say, Uther's kept his general alive, so he's going to be giving my units a morale bonus there. But can you see I'm using my Spartans here to try and kill the SBQR general? Right, so Uther's, I think one of Uther's unit there just killed the SBQR general. Good for us. Right, see that SBQR cavalry charging and bangs, it smashes in there, trying to get a mass route. Look, if he could get a couple of my units to route there, it would have been a mass route. Nice hit there by the SBQR general. Right, can you see I've turned my Spartans now from defense into attack. Can you see how they're moving forward in attack mode now? And you've seen me use Spartans like this before. Very defensive when I have to be, but just hopefully at the right moment I then turn defense into attack. Can you see I'm moving the Spartans forward against those SBQR troops there? Okay, if you notice there, I think the SBQR general's putting that unit into Testudo. But if you notice, I'm moving my units forward here, aggressively attacking that unit. Okay, can you see moving forward there? Clicking on each one of those units to attack that Testudo unit. They're trying to make the most of the aggressive attacking specifications of the Spartans there. See them moving forward slowly into that SBQR unit. I always think when you advance with Spartans, it's like a steamroller. Very, very slow, but they tend to go over anything they usually face there. And as you can see there, wouldn't surprise me if that SBQR unit routed at any... There you go, routed there. And we've just got that one SBQR unit left there. Okay, I'm just going to pause the game for a second here just to show you the intensity of this battle. Do you remember over here on the left flank? Remember, this is where the battle kicked off here. Do you remember we managed to take out most of the enemy SBQR units on this left flank? But look at the cavalry dead, especially the cavalry dead there on that left flank. As we move across the battle here from the left centre, less dead there. I think that's where a lot of the Carthage Sacred Band were taken out. And then we move over to here. And you can see the intensity of the battle here by the amount of dead. Just in that one spot there. Over here on the right flank, this is where I think our Macedon ally lost most of his units. Remember when he was routed by the victorious enemy troops coming from the right flank. But that was just to show the intensity of the battle there. Right, you can see here I'm moving my tired Greek city units, as I say, in an aggressive attacking way towards these enemy SBQR troops. Run over to them, make contact, then put my spears down and advance into them. And we've managed to rout that last SBQR unit. So you can see just by the units we've got left here, that's all we've got. Out of 4 massive armies, that's all the troops we've got left here. And our team has just about managed to go on and win the battle there, but at a terrible cost, as you can see there. Okay, so I guess we all thought it would be a close victory, which it was. I'd like to say really well played to everybody in the game there. And as I say, I think if this game did very close, that would have been a very close victory. That old 13-year-old Spartan army of mine, I was pleased with 2,376 kills. I thought that was quite good. Uther, 1,659, good kills as well. But I'd just like to draw your attention here, JGP, 2,111. Great kills for JGP. Really well done to him. And I notice there, it's unusual to get 2,000 kills in one game, so that's unusual. Crypto did well as well with his infantry. Poor old Malta there with only 585. Of course, he was isolated there and double teamed, so that's why he didn't get the kills that he wanted there. But he held up the enemy army there, maybe giving us time to be able to take out the Carthage army there, which he did very well. I'm just having a look at the battle statistics of my Spartans there. You can see 74 for 163, 80 for 146, 53 for 226, 65 for 213, and 58 for 235 there. So you can see the Spartans' kill rate was really good. The cheap archers didn't do very good, but they tend to not to anyway. But the Spartans there, you can see the massive kills they got there. So I'd just like to say, really well played once again to everybody in the game there. I thought it was a reasonable, nice lot of factions as well. Greek cities, Rome, Macedon, and Carthage there. So I thought it was a good spread of units there. And I'd just like to say really well played to Brotherhood member Crypto, Bark, JGP, and RTW player Sooty. Really well played, guys. Nice aggressive attacking move there. And I think that battle could have gone either way, right down to the wire there. So really well played to all of you, but also really well played to Uther, Mars, and Malta as well. Thought you guys played really well there in that battle. Let's say there might be some ex-RTW players that like watching our battles. You can see we still have great battles. Why not come back onto RTW and give it a go? This is Spartan Commander saying bye for now. See you soon.